Alright, just chill for a minute, because if this is true, this is absolutely nuts. I don't think I've ever seen something like this. There's no way this is true, right? Like, there's no way we're just out here. What, I guess we're just out here getting free money? Is that what's going on? We are just out here. We're getting free money, and that's what it is, right? It's too good to be true. Give me a minute. I need to test my stream, make sure that everything's working. And we're going to jump into this topic here shortly. Cuz this is nuts. It's hard for me to believe. Okay. So I know that everything's working. It doesn't look like you're getting audio from the computer, so let me ensure that that's going through. I'm not sure. Doesn't look like that's going through.
Today,
Squeeze every penny!
if you're pinching pennies today,
Squeeze every penny!
I'm squeezing it.
you are not alone.
3, 2, 1.
After the abrupt finale of the 1-cent coin back in November, when the U.S. Mint pressed the final penny, retailers across the country are scrambling to come up with change.
So, a wise person, a wise colleague that I know, that I've worked with, he once told me, if you're pinching pennies, you have bigger issues to deal with. And I thought about that for a moment. It hit me. I was like, wait. So you mean to tell me that pinching pennies isn't the issue? Like, that isn't the issue. That might be a short-term solution to a whole laundry list of problems. So what are the problems? And I had to think about this for a minute. And it's hard to... Okay, you talk to the reasonable people on the streets with reasonable emotional intelligence who aren't as focused on the knowledge to solve the world's problems, and they're more focused on how people perceive them and, you know, public relations and stuff like that. And they'll be like, well, you know, it's hard to tell people they're wrong, right? But like, there has to be a point where you're like, okay, shit's getting too real. So there's a long laundry list of issues here that need fixed, and the people running this circus, they're wrong, because the person who was supposed to jump through the ring of fire just caught on fire. The fucking elephant just died before the show even started. The clown's on fucking meth. Like, the whole thing is thrown all out of whack. So there has to be a point where you're like, okay, I got to step in. Something's got to happen here. And when we have corporations just kind of trading pennies with the consumer, like, oh, okay, you keep an extra 3 pennies here, I'll keep an extra 3 pennies there. It's different than dynamic pricing, because then you can kind of redistribute wealth through these corporations, right? slowly over time. Like, okay, if I know you're buying this product and then Jimmy's buying that product and Jimmy deserves your money, we can set these prices to where, like, every time you check out at Walmart, you're giving us an extra 3 pennies and then Jimmy's getting an extra 3 pennies back as his change. So, you know, the solution to the pennies obviously costing more to make than they're worth, the solution that they provided us is creating 8 more problems. And then you have to imagine if it leaves a window open for someone to take bad advantage of it, they're going to. You know, these people watching security cameras are sitting back like, we got to redistribute this wealth and create equity, and they're going to try and do that. You know what I mean? They're going to inevitably attempt to do that. And that's a scary thing to think about. You shouldn't have equal outcome when there's not equal action. You know, if there's equal action, then they should get an equal result, and they ought to get an equal result. And I would like to believe that they would get an equal result in a perfect society. And we should always strive for that perfect society. You know, we shouldn't just sit back and be like, oh, the perfect society. Fever dream. You should strive for the perfect society. And obviously, you're going to make some mistakes here and there, but I think it's the ratio of mistakes to successes. At the end of the day, that's what's going to matter.
According to a recent survey of 25 major retailers nationwide, 2/3 say when they're short on pennies, they're rounding cash transactions in favor of the consumer. That means retailers will round up your change to the nearest nickel, so if you're owed 3 cents, you'll get back 5.
On this occasion, they...
But what if you're owed 2 cents? What if you're owed just a penny? Then what? Like, let's say the item's $9.99. Are you paying $10 for it? So we're trading pennies, essentially. Like, we're gonna trade pennies.
actually rounded up.
It's a policy companies like Target, Auntie Anne, Cinnabon, and Carvel are recommending to their locations when pennies are not available. While other chains like McDonald's say restaurants may round up or down to the nearest 5 cents. The new rules of change now have everyone offering their own 2 cents on social media.
So they owe me 7 cents.
Ha ha ha. 2 cents, guys. You get it, right? Nobody's laughing.
They're going to round it down to a nickel, it says on their sign. How is that right?
This is exactly how it's supposed to be done. They should have owed me $2 and a penny. They couldn't give me a penny, so they gave me $2.05.
Earlier this
Okay. So if you're always rounding up, regardless of the number, they owed you a penny and they gave you 5. They gave you an extra 4 cents. You got 4 cents off. Nobody's saying that you're a penny pincher. It's just the best solution that they could come up with for the time being. They essentially just lowered the prices. Now there's going to be weird people who are planning out their grocery trips to hit that thing where they're pretty much getting 4 cents off of everything. Sure, there's going to be those people. Is it worth it? The juice is certainly not worth the squeeze. You know, we talked about the juice being worth the squeeze. You know what that means now.
year, the Treasury Department decided to suspend production of the penny, citing its growing irrelevance. But the small coin only seems to be growing in value. The last ever minted U.S. pennies just fetched top dollar at an auction, with one set of 3 selling for $800,000. Experts estimate about 300 billion pennies are circulating in the market today. though the vast majority are not with the Federal Reserve, but likely stuck in water jugs or piggy banks.
Here's where I am. When I have theories about something, I don't act in a way that is risky to me to figure out if those theories are correct. Generally I'll follow the rules to figure out if my theory is correct while I observe others and see if they believe the same thing, if they have like the same kind of theory, if they have the same belief, to see if when they live it out, it actually is true and it works out. And then I weigh out those results, I do it all in my head, do all the calculation in my head, but overall, this is what I do. And I'm going to keep this live stream nice and short, nice and digestible, but overall, I think that this is something for me to keep an eye on. More importantly, I'm a consumer. I obviously have services to offer humanity, but I'm also a consumer. I don't think there's anybody who technically can escape being a consumer entirely, but certainly some people are more self-sufficient than others, of course, but this is definitely something to keep an eye on.
The pennies back at home right now. Feel free to bring them in.
Retail trade groups are now urging Congress to establish a national standard for rounding these cash transactions, which would help businesses, also create less confusion for customers. If you are someone who wants to get exact change or skip the math headache altogether, oh yeah, there's a solution for you. Yeah. Just use your credit card.
Oh my goodness, your debit card, I guess. There's an app for that.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget you can catch the Today Show.
Poses a good point. This isn't affecting people who use their credit cards. This isn't changing anything for them. People who use their debit cards, people who use Apple Pay, Google Pay, Cash App, this isn't affecting any of those people. If you have a card or a scan method, any type of that kind of payment method, this isn't affecting you at all. This is only affecting the people who have cash. So essentially we have different rules for different people, and we know how that goes down. There's a reason why I go towards the right answer and don't just run away from the wrong one on that. Because if you give different rules to different people, it doesn't matter what the intention is. The outcome is usually that it's discrimination. Historically, we've learned from different precedents set by different court dates and stuff like that, different settled cases. We've learned that overall the right answer is to apply the rules equally and consistently across the board. You don't want to give rules to one person that you don't give to the other person. So I already see a million caveats, and I'm looking forward to see how they're addressed. Of course, I know how to easily address them. I have my own beliefs and thoughts on how to very easily address them, like super easy, no stress, no sweat. But I'm looking forward to seeing corporations and maybe the government's way of addressing these differences. And I hope to see you all on the better side. I'm going to give my answers. I think that they are worth money, and I've changed how I think about these things, and I don't want to give you guys, I don't want to impose my beliefs on you guys. But if it's one of those things where if you value what I say, then you can put your money on it, and I'll give you a good answer and hopefully guide you towards a better life and a better world. Thank you guys. This has been NATH. Keep your eyes open, keep your eyes peeled for this stuff, and try to look at it through the lenses I gave you, but I'm not going to impose any beliefs. So, thank you. Have a good one.